Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the some nerd stuff, some geek stuff. What do we call
Something
this?
like that.
Some nerd stuff.
Some nerd stuff, yeah.
All right, yeah. See, we're confident and know what we're doing.
We're getting there.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, welcome to some nerd stuff. Another episode of some nerd stuff podcast. La 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 la. If I can ever speak, I'm your host Jared. I'm here with my co-host, your boy Alan.
My boy, what's good?
We are now in the countdown to your birthday.
It's
A few more hours to your
tomorrow,
25.
May 20th.
How do you feel?
Old.
How you feeling? No, but on some real shit. Like, other than that, obviously you're gonna feel old. We always say we feel old. You feel good? You feel, you know what I mean? Like, it's your birthday.
I always feel, every year my birthday always feels some type of way,
At least you can do something this year.
This is because last year was the height of when COVID happened.
Yeah.
That was like the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So it's like.
We literally couldn't do shit.
I was on FaceTime with people, drinking. That was my birthday. But honestly, I had a good time even then. I think I have a good time this year. I know you got some stuff planned for me, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And our friend Caitlin has some stuff planned. That's pretty dope.
Of course.
Yeah.
So today, well, that's great, man. I'm glad. Well, guys, thank you for joining us on another episode. Thank you for listening in. And, today we're going to be talking about just like this little album that came out, just like this little, some rapper dropped an album, I guess people are talking about. Yeah, something called the Off Season.
The Off Season?
Yes, made by somebody named Jermaine Cole.
Jermaine Cole? Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. He's like
the real is back? The Ville's back? That Jermaine Cole?
Yeah. Some like small town guy. But before we get to that real quick, some pretty cool news dropped today that I was like, we gotta talk about this in the pod. So HBO Max has announced that they are doing a brand new Batman animated series called The Caped Crusader, and it is being brought to us by the original animated series creator Bruce Timm, along with Matt Reeves, the director of the upcoming The Batman with Robert Pattinson, and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. That sounds heat.
Yeah. Like...
It's live action?
No, it's going to be an animated show, and it's going to be called The Caped Crusader, because we're running out of fucking names for him at this point.
That's facts. It literally has been almost 100 years.
Yeah. I mean, like, we've literally we've had Batman, Brave and the Bold, The Batman, Batman the Animated Series, the 60s. Yeah. But The Caped Crusader does make me very excited. Have you seen the teaser for this, by the way?
What is this for?
Snake Eyes.
I don't even know what this is.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes?
Yeah. From G.I. Joe.
I never watched G.I. Joe growing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never saw the movie with Channing Tatum and Marlon Wayans? Wow. Okay, sorry guys, we got a little sidetracked because on the screen right now we got
It's not that I hate it. I never watched it growing up.
Yeah, they had the trailer for the Snake Eyes, which I mean for me looks really dope. I love Snake Eyes, so he's a great character. I think you'll like it. But anyways, so back to the other news though.
That sounds fucking dope as fuck though.
Yeah, man. Like I mean, because I feel like it's a perfect mix of three. Obviously, these three main guys. This to me what gives it confidence because you have Bruce Timm who literally brought us. At least for you and me growing up, it's like he gave us Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. Like, I believe he was involved, at least, I think he was involved with, like, Static Shock, probably, like, producing-wise. But it's like he gave us that animated universe we had growing up. You know, before Marvel had the cinematic universe, there was the animated universe. And so you have the original creator of the... You know, DC's had a lot of animated stuff. We actually talked recently off mic about, you know, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of the newer animated movies. Not the last two they just came out with that were pretty good, like the Superman Man of Tomorrow, but just like things that led up to that Apocalypse War. It just wasn't for me. But now you have the original creator of the one I love. On top of that, you have J.J. Abrams, who again, say what you want about Skywalker, stuff like that. People got to remember where he came from, which was television. So he knows TV.
That's true.
You know, he's also producing
Game of Thrones.
Well, no, he's also producing the new Superman movie that's going to have a black Superman. So clearly, Warner Brothers is really liking their relationship with him so far, giving him this credit. And it also tells us a lot about Matt Reeves, because people also, who are listening, you got to remember Matt Reeves is not only directing the Batman, he's producing the HBO Max show that's going to be called, I believe it's called Gotham PD, which is supposed to be like a prequel series in like those first years when Batman's still like a legend, and because Robert Pattinson's Batman we're going to see in the movies, he's 2 years in, so this is going to be like kind of a prequel of the Department and showing how all corrupt it is, and
so it's going to be in the same universe as the Batman.
Yeah, so it's kind of basically what in my opinion, is what Gotham should have been, which is an actual police show that just happens to be in Gotham with these characters.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So the fact that Matt Reeves is doing that along with the Batman and now is joining with these two, clearly they think that his vision for Batman is what they want, at least for the foreseeable future, and that makes me excited because I think the trailer for his looks amazing. I think it's gonna be great. This is one of those things that it's just like, all right, that's a great announcement. Now, like, don't tell me anything and just get to work. Like, let me get like the first images of like, because I'm thinking, what's the design gonna look like? You know what I mean? Like, what's the layout gonna look like? And from the
suit for the Crusader, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and the other report is that apparently it's gonna focus more on like the noir detective stuff, which again harkens back to the animated series. You know, when they would do more detective episodes, and now that it's on HBO Max, it's like the great thing about the animated series is like they had darker themed stuff that was, like we've talked about before. Like you can watch the animated series today and it's still good. So I just think now they have a chance to really make it a little bit more mature. You know what I mean? Well, it's also gonna premiere on Cartoon Network, so obviously it's not gonna be. It's gonna be HBO Max and Cartoon Network, but I think
so. It's not gonna be super adult, but
well, this way I don't think it's obviously gonna be like it's not gonna be Rick and Morty, but it's also I think
it might be like a Teen Titans kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's good, or like a Young Justice. Like it can go deeper and darker than what we're used to. So
just like any Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We should grow with courage. You know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty dark.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what they do with it. So, I gotta just wait on that one.
I agree. Yeah.
So, but to our main topic of today, J. Cole finally dropped the off season. He's returned after 3 years since KOD. And I literally don't even know where to begin when it comes to how much this not only like met my it
exceeded my expectation, honestly.
Well, see, this thing, I feel like I don't even want to say that. I feel like this is like the first time in my life where it's like my expectations for something was so high that it's like for him to have gone beyond it, he would have had done like I mean this in the best way possible. It met my expectations. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people could say that and it sounds like a bad thing, but it's like no, it's not. Like this is why I love this album so much. It literally is exactly what I wanted it to be.
I'm not gonna front. That's true because remember we were talking about a long time ago. I obviously way before the album. We were talking about J. Cole, and you're basically just like how you wanted him to like kind of boast up his own shit more because he never did what he did in this album.
Yeah,
right? He's kind of like like
the confidence is there.
The confidence, yeah. You're like, and you remember we were talking about you got so mad. Like, why can't you just? We all know you're the GOAT. Just say it. Like,
and that's what I got.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, like he came out and was like, I was even forget about like that's how
exactly
I feel.
Like,
it's like I love hearing this man like I love seeing somebody at the top of their game and boasting about it. You know what I mean? Somebody that's other than Drake. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so great to finally hear him like rap some deep shit, but he's also like sitting here like that's why I'm so fucking great.
That's what I'm saying. Especially when you come, because there's always niggas who are gonna say that they're great, that they're the best and shit like that too, but obviously aren't.
Yeah.
But
and that's not a detriment because all rappers, all musicians, all artists have to feel like you're the best.
Actually, in fact, because then how do you get better?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you're not always trying to be the best, that's the whole point of like what we do.
It's just different when a guy who, you know for sure is going to go down in the.
I think after this album, I think he has to be somewhere in the top 10 of all time. Like people gotta start putting some respect on his name.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get why for a bit older heads than us, why like.
Even for this is
I feel like
perfect for older heads too. Like they can relate to even like a newer generation of music.
Oh yeah,
I feel also have like an older head mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think being fair to like all rappers of all time period. I think the best argument I would at least make is he has to somewhere for sure be in the top 20. Like when you're talking about just all time, like if you're also including like. Non-lyrical, but if you're including, like even older lyricals, like LL Cool J, you know what I mean, just shit like that. Like if you were to take it all together, yeah, he's got to be somewhere top 20. You just look at his discography so far. Like
it's been perfect.
We haven't seen a run like this since Kanye, where it's like every single one comes out and it's just doing bigger and better than the one before.
Facts.
Like, KOD broke Spotify. This shit. May not.
It's about to break. It's about to break some other shit though.
It's about to break. I mean, this man's about to. From the reports we're seeing, he might have the biggest debut since the streaming era. And that's so crazy when you hear something like the first track with 95 South. Like, you know, when you hear him saying, you know, like, you know, Cole been I've been selling us since CDs was around, which is true. Like, you know, I was thinking when he said that.
He even said that in I think it was an interlude when he's like, I'm gonna go crazy selling this summer, like selling double discs like from back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it just brought me back to when Born Sinner came out, and there was that video of him and Drake going to Best Buy and
buying all
just
the CDs,
buying all like the CDs together and
just
shit.
handing them out. Yeah, so that was dope.
And that again, like, but that's when you had to remember. It's like, oh yeah, at that time streaming still wasn't a thing, and he was selling that. So yeah, he really has been selling since CDs was still around, and then now he's in the streaming era, and he's about to have the biggest debut. And you know, I saw a few other podcasts talking about this, which I thought was a great point too. Which was like, it was a bold move that out of the big three between him, Kendrick, and Drake, he made the first move. You know, you and me were talking, I think, on our first podcast.
I mean, it could have been Drake, but he's been holding off since forever.
I think we talked about it on the first or second podcast, or maybe it was off mic after before the podcast. It was sometime recently when we started podcasting, but I remember we had the conversation of like, who's gonna drop, and once they do, who then comes out next. You know, and you know, we were saying like there's not gonna be that far between each other, just in the span of the year. It's not gonna be that far, but obviously it's not gonna be anytime soon. But I just find it very interesting that it's like Cole was the first one to come out and with this type of album of like this confidence. Yeah, it's
now like because you know
the bars. He set the bar.
I feel like Kendrick's is always kind of looking at stuff like that, and like he's gonna want to come harder. Even though he's been the quiet out of the three.
That's what bugs me. It's like I don't. Yeah, because that could be a whole different conversation with Kendrick. But right now, let's stick on our boy Cole.
Yep.
So
killed it.
Yeah, I thought the opening track, 95 South, I thought it was a perfect way to open this album for what he was saying and the stuff he wanted to do in this. The perfect opening. It kind of reminds me of like at least the vibe of the beat, especially at the end, and obviously having Cameron, introducing
and Little John, like
Little John.
How you get Little John on that shit? That's crazy.
It kind of reminded me of like. It almost feels like a stadium anthem. You know what I mean? Like something like it's like he's walking in to the stadium to play, next, and everyone's getting all hyped into these
facts. I can't wait to hear that in concert.
Oh my god!
Represent your shit, motherfucker! I see the whole crowd's gonna go off.
Oh, they're gonna go nuts.
Oh,
they're gonna go nuts. Yeah, I thought it was a great way to. I thought it was a great way to start it with like again the confidence. Like literally, I don't know why. Like it was the first line that gave me like literal chills when I was hearing it. Was when he says, if I'm betting on myself, then I completely double down. Like just something about that is just like again, that confidence is finally there.
And honestly, it's mad inspirational. That ass. It makes me want to work harder in my own craft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then we got Amari, the second track,
which I think is one of the hardest tracks on the album.
Yeah.
That shit is so hard, bro.
Especially once that music video hit, like.
Oh yeah, the music video is hard too. Like, whoa.
Really
don't get me wrong. I don't think it's one of the best music videos he's done, but like, it flows with the album. And I love how it's filmed in New York too. It flowed with the album so hard, like
I think I would actually put it for me personally. I'd put it in my top 5 Cole videos.
Yeah.
I have to really think because obviously my number one is for like I know for a fact my 1 and 2 is Crooked Smile and Power Trip.
Yeah, I like Power Trip.
Those are probably my.
She Knows is one of my favorites too.
She Knows is also a great one. That's actually probably my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's my one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, that I feel like not a lot of people talk about it and listen to.
Word, I agree.
Because like, I don't know, I just I love like the whole like switch of it, like. Host say turn up, niggas say turn up.
Yeah,
only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Like, and then the rest in peace to Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And then Michael Jackson, I see
ya. Yeah. Rest in peace on left eye, left eye. Yeah, it's hard.
And Michael Jackson, I see ya. Just as soon as that whole shit.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah, it's underrated.
And, he's always been on that, just showing some respect, bro.
Yeah.
Christ went to heaven, A33, just like Pimp C and just like
Nipsey.
Bro, it's hard, bro.
Yeah, the interlude.
So hard.
Yeah. But obviously. For me, if I had to pick my top, the one I just keep listening to is "Pride Is the Devil." Like that beat,
the song,
that sample,
everything about that song is fire.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the one where he's really.
It's so different too, like from what he usually does, but it fits the album perfectly.
But you know what I love about it is I feel like it's a song that if you just if you're just listening to the beat like as a background and you're not really paying attention, it just sounds like a fun, cool song. But then it's when you're really listening to his actual verse, you're like.
Oh, he's going.
Oh
hard.
damn! Like this nigga's like
Yeah,
really, he's really opening up some deep conversations of just like.
Honestly, some of the shit he was talking about was crazy in that song, man.
Yeah, like I said, when he's talking about the family dichotomy, you know,
Yeah.
and then when he says, you know, like you know, you got some aunties and some uncles that's too proud to make apologies, like that. That to me, like that already, that line alone is like a whole conversation you could have opening up. You know what I mean? Same thing with.
And I guarantee 0 people in the entire world, whatever seen Lil Baby coming at in that track at all. Did not see that coming whatsoever. I was tucking back.
Well, because we never, because you know, just for anybody listening, we listened to it at midnight when it dropped. So when the track list came out, it was just
it dropped 10 minutes before.
Oh yeah, an Apple. Yeah. So we were listening at like 11:50, and literally there was no. All it was the tracks.
There was no
features.
Yeah.
So when like. So yeah. Let's get to the first feature though. When we first heard it, I remember
it was My Life.
My Life. We're listening to My Life, and I'm like, you know, he said this verse like, all right, that was hard, and then you start hearing the singing, and at first I'm like, you know, you think it might be one of those, you know, just singing parts that you never really, like they never
hear the voice. You're like, oh shit.
And then I remember I turned around and looked at you. I said, nigga, that's Moray, and you were like, oh shit, and I was like, yo, that's Moray.
And then 21 jumped out. We were like, oh shit.
Yeah, we were like, no, because our boy Jamali was in the back. He's like, I think 21's gonna be on here, so he gotta be. And then
I don't know. Jamali also said at the beginning of 95 South. He's like, is that Cameron? Like,
yeah,
we didn't even pick it up.
Yeah, we didn't even pick up on it. Yeah. So that was, yeah. So I love the surprises that he did. This is, you know, it was an old school, like, because I know I've seen a lot of people saying this. It was great to see like an old school type of rollout. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was a shorter time than most rollouts used to be back in the day. Yeah. But it's also fast. Like it was also like it felt like more prepared than most. Like, you know, somebody would say like, "Oh, this album dropping on this date," and it's like, all right, cool. Now we know it's coming, and then it drops, and then that's it. Or somebody just drops a surprise thing. Like I kind of miss like rollouts. Like this made me like this whole album and everything leading to this, like the documentary.
I like short rollouts because like literally that was within 2 weeks. Like, he said, all right, by the way, I'm dropping this May 14th. Literally 3 days later is when he dropped the documentary, and then 2 days later he dropped Interlude, and then the next week was the album. Yeah.
But again, like but it's still like was more prepared than most like rollouts nowadays, and it reminded me more of like
he was just more prepared for this album in general, and that's why because I remember we were talking about this too. Like you said, you kind of compare it to 2014 a little bit. Yeah. I actually more compare it to Born Sinner, mostly because of the jump. Like don't get me wrong, I love KOD, but he said he made the album in like a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Where obviously he said this one's years in the making. Yeah. And you can tell like between those 2 albums how much of a jump that is. You know what I'm saying? His whole everything, like his whole ability of everything he does. You know? So like. And that's something people need to realize. That you gotta put time into your shit. Like obviously, if you got the talent, if you can bring something out quick, obviously that's why KOD was so great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but like, when you put the time in and you put the work in, that's what he's talking about in the documentary. You put the work in, like you can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and also, like I said, I equate this album really to like one of those perfect movies where just like every little thing matters. Like for example, so I don't know anybody who hasn't seen the movie. No spoilers, but if you the movie, it's an older movie, but Prisoners. Mm-hmm. It reminds me a lot like Prisoners. Jackman, right? Yeah, where it's like when you rewatch that movie, so, like once you know the ending, the twist ending, and the whole story unraveling, and then you rewatch it, you realize how every little line of dialogue, even just in passing conversations between characters, means something to either the overall story, the message, or to what's gonna happen at the end of like this movie. And that to me is what a lot of this album was, where it's like it felt like every bar had a meaning to either the very next bar or the message to this overall album. Mm-hmm. And I mean what I mean by that is like, you know, KOD same, you know, he does that with a lot of his albums. But with something like KOD, you know, he had some like lines that bars were just kind of throwaway bars, but like that he used to kind of just connect some verses. Yeah. Where this doesn't feel like that. It feels like
it literally feels like one smooth motion, like throughout the whole album. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So I equate it to like literally just like a film that just been crafted where every little detail mattered. And yeah, the fact that he was working on this before he was, you know,
working on KOD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's been making this, and it's been, like you said, it's been years in the making for him. So. And you can tell.
Party's Up was a good choice for that. My personal favorite song on the album is...
that's just the one I keep, like, re-listening to. Yeah.
I would say... Because the one I keep listening to is Let Go of My Hand.
No, that's the song of the album.
That's my favorite song. I think the chorus, his bar, everything about the album or the song is... It hits so hard for me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, listen, that's why the second when we first listened to the album, like, that was the song that, like, literally just...
It catch your ear, you know what I'm
every
saying?
word caught my ear, and I was paying attention so hard that I didn't even notice anything else. I didn't even pay attention to anybody else in the car, what was going on. But that's why as soon as like I said, I was so into it that's why I'm the first one who caught it and turned around to you. I was like, damn, he really said that about Diddy. And you were like, oh, no, sure. So I'm like, yeah, and that's why I was like, yeah. So, yeah.
My last scuffle was with Puff.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy,
yeah. Yeah. You know, that's one of those, like, we'll never get the full story, but it's still, like, interesting to just hear.
We can at least hear something about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope. Did you know Amari is his manager's son?
Yeah.
And Boss's nephew.
Yeah. Which also Boss, you know,
killed every feature he like. I think out of anybody in Dreamville, I'm glad that he was the one that was like there the most. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I love him and J. Cole's chemistry.
Other than J. Cole, he carries Dreamville. You
know yeah,
he's been doing it since.
I'll give credit though. I'll say him and Jid.
I love JID too. Don't get me wrong, but he's more newer of anything.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But it's one of those like Boss been there for anything, but Jid has jumped so far that's like the
so
fact
quick.
that people automatically associate him with J. Cole and Dreamville is like that's the other thing.
And so quick too. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Like Cole is so good that it's like I literally can't even pick who's my favorite between his guys. You know what I mean? Where it's like
for Dreamville.
Not even just Dreamville in terms of like just people he like. Just collaborates so well with. Like I don't even know who. Yeah, it's like I don't know who to pick as my favorites between either him and JID, him and 21, him and Boz, him and Ken. Like they all are just. He's so
him
versatile.
Him and Kendrick actually need like a song together. That'd be great.
Yeah, I really don't.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where it's like I really need to. That's like one of those things in the universe. Like I wish I could just like. Figure out of like the truth of why these two can't.
And I don't understand. It's not, maybe it's like some secret beef or whatever.
No. I don't think it's a secret beef.
I don't know what's going on.
No. I don't think it's a secret beef. I think they are clearly like really cool with each other. I just think it's a thing of like. I just feel like they haven't really put forth the effort in it, and because
the world's been waiting for a collab album for 10 years.
But I think it's one of those things of like in their minds, it's like they're so on their path. That I feel like for the two of them, they feel like it's kind of a detraction to stop everything they're doing to then make an album with each other because the fans want it. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, well, if then we work on this, because I get it. It's like, all right, if we decide to stop everything we're doing and then go do this project together, there's an expectation there.
Yeah.
And we have to meet that. And it's like, are we ready to do that right now? And I don't think they are. I think it's a thing of if it's gonna happen. Especially with the two of them and who they are, I feel like they would want it to be as natural as possible. Meaning, like they can't force it. They have to somehow wait for it to be the right time and right place. And I feel like us as fans, it's just waiting for them to get to that right time or place. So it kind of sucks because it's like, we want it now. But out of respect to them, it's like
we'll get it. If we get it, it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah.
And and I mean, I don't know, like. Allegedly, obviously, the whole J. Cole and Puff beef started because Puff came at Kendrick, but the control verse. You know what I'm saying? And then J. Cole came to his defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you hear shit like that, you're like, oh, clearly you niggas fuck with each other.
Yeah.
Y'all
been hanging. Remember, they were on. They did a tour a little bit, and not only together but with M.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you guys are clearly the best two out. You know what I'm saying? Like. But I get it. I mean, especially because right now, I guess I feel like Kendrick is more on his own thing than J. Cole is.
Well, that's my thing. I think if it's out of anything between the two of them, I feel like it's more on Kendrick's side of why it's not happening than Cole.
Because Kendrick's been obviously quiet. He's been just working, which is cool. Like obviously that's always a good thing. And
I'm not gonna lie.
But just be like empty from the world.
At this point, it's been so long with Kendrick that it's like that's the one where I fear.
Yeah. 2017? Damn drop? Damn.
Yeah. Like the summer of 2017. So it's been literally like 4 years.
Listened to it.
Right after work.
Right after work, I had to drive through
McDonald's. Yeah. And it's just it just bugs me out that it's like I don't know, something like fears at the bottom of my heart that it's like not that it won't be good. It's obviously a Kendrick album, it's gonna be amazing. But just that little worry of that one I'm afraid of not meeting my expectations.
I agree. I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, again, this one with Cole, Let Go of My Hand is probably my favorite on the whole album altogether.
I think the most slept on song It's Hunger on Hillside.
Yeah,
Yeah, the last track.
he literally starts and ends this album perfectly.
Yeah, facts. It's just so slept on. I feel like enough people are talking about that song. It's so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like. I also really like in terms of like the repeat value of other than Pride of the Devil. 100 Mil is really great too.
That's a great repeat value.
Yeah.
I actually listen to the song very often.
Yeah,
honestly.
that one
I actually know some. A lot of people don't talk about Close.
really
Like,
good.
That has such a crazy story, and like I don't
Mhm.
know really talking about that because like that's some real shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? People get lost in the bullshit.
yeah,
You know, and then could die from that. You know, could
Yeah.
get caught up like straight up. You know, niggas don't understand that.
I really feel like a good message he put in this album is also just like kind of. I feel like a lot of it is like
Hold on to your inner child.
but it's also like if you want to be great, stop focusing on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he said, like I can't remember which song because I just been listening to the whole album on repeat. But when he says, you know, like if you broke and clowning a millionaire, then the joke is on you.
Yeah.
Applying pressure,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like he's right. Like I feel like too many people like will sit here and act like they should be rich and all this shit. You know, they be hating on everybody else that has money and be like, oh, they're stupid. I would never do that. If I have that kind of money, I'd be doing this, and this is like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, here's the thing. That person's living amazingly with all that money while you're sitting there complaining. You know what I mean? It's like if you're literally constantly filling up with your thoughts of, like, hate for others, and what they're doing, do you think life's going to treat you well? You know what I mean? Like,
That's a
that
fact.
person's doing good because regardless of what you think of them, there's probably more that they're doing for other people around. They probably have a much better attitude about themselves, which is why they got to that position.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you only kind of... You get what you put out into the universe. So if you put out nothing but negativity and hating on everybody else with money, then you think you're gonna somehow just come into money. Like,
That's a fact.
you know what I mean? Like, you gotta focus on yourself. Don't think about others. Don't worry about what
That's
anybody
right.
else is doing. You know, that's another problem with our society today. Is the fact that everybody gives a fuck what everybody
Too
else
much
is
of a
doing.
fuck.
When it's like,
It's the social media shit. That's why, because you obviously you see everything everybody's doing basically at all times.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it becomes a problem too because people are so focused on that they forget to actually work
yeah,
their own shit up to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
because they're too concerned on what's going on. They don't know how to shut that off and just do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and by the way, back to a point we were talking about earlier. And what I mean, also because I was just thinking about this, looking at the cover, the album cover.
It's hard.
Well, that's more of what I meant by why I miss old rollouts.
Mhm.
Because what I mean is like the timing, where he's like, okay, like remember he dropped it and then a day later went and played his first basketball game. You know, so it's like,
Dude got a whole day job right after.
but that's what I mean. But I love that he knew to play in this, where it's like, all right, we're gonna drop this, then we have the documentary, we'll do this, then, and I'll drop an interlude, you know, what I mean, here, and we'll start teasing it 2 weeks before, you know, like on this date. That's what I mean by more of a planned rollout. Where
Well, he said he dropped the interlude. Like it was like last second. He was like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna drop this."
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, but what I mean by that
Yeah.
is like when an artist knows they have a project that they're sitting on and
Yeah.
they're thinking, all right, how am I gonna put this out?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody nowadays simply just tweets the date and then it just comes out on that date.
Mm-hmm.
A rollout of like, hey, let me announce it, give this little documentary. All right, let me drop a single. All right, and then have the album come out right before I play my game.
Create the hype a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like building up the
Yeah.
like a rollout that actually builds up the hype.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Is like I
And
feel like a lot
it
of
started-
rollouts are just to announce it
It's
rather
like-
than actually get you hyped for
Because
when
like,
it
like I
drops.
said, he did all that. He did the freestyle, all that shit. Like
That's
he,
what
like,
exactly.
like,
See what I'm
like,
saying? Like he knew like I'm gonna plan to go do the freestyle now. Have
He
it
literally did
posted.
all that, and then was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go play basketball real quick while you guys fuck with the album." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
During this time,
That
you
to
know
me
what I'm
is a great rollout.
saying? I thought it was a great job. I thought it was great timing, especially you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Again, I overall I think this album is.
all right. So I know this is probably
No, it's
unnecessary.
way too early to obviously say anything.
No, I'm saying like I know it's unnecessary, but like, what would you rate the album? And you know what we do this.
Obviously, because anything can change, especially with music.
True.
It can definitely change in time with how it sits with you. But off first listen, off the hype, and off of the high of the fact that for me it lived up to what I wanted, I would personally, I would just give this a straight 10 out of 10.
I will also give it a 10.
Yeah, I'll just give it a straight 10 out of 10. Again, this is one of those. In time, we'll see which songs end up sticking around more than others, but overall, it's like there's not again, I was I was emotionally invested in every single song when I was listening to it. So it's like not a lot of albums do that for me. Period. So it's like I gotta give it that credit. So right now for me, it's a 10 out of 10. It's obviously my rap album of the year so far.
I agree. Same.
So we'll have to just wait and see what Drake and Kendrick do. You know.
If they do something.
Yeah.
Well, Drake
we know is coming.
Kendrick
we still have
a maybe.
Yeah, we still have to wait on that.
Yeah.
And just like last little bit of subjects of music, two last little things that we'd like to talk about. Just a quick shout out to Nicki. Really loved the new shit that she did with Drake and Wayne. I thought it was really hard. I thought
that shit was hard as hell, actually.
Yeah,
like Green.
Yeah.
That shit was dumb hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah,
honestly, it felt like she was going back to her roots a lot. That's why I fuck with it.
I was just happy because like the nostalgia purposes of having a brand new Nicki, Drake, and Wayne song.
Like back in the fucking Young Money days.
That's what I'm saying. Like it felt really good to see that. Like to just go on Spotify and see like a new song by Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Drake, and be able to click on it and be like, wow, like this is something new. I'm here. Like from the like that just made me so happy.
We grew up with that shit.
Yeah, bro. I remember again like.
When Young Money,
we were literally in middle school when Bedrock dropped. You know
that song
what I
still
mean?
slaps.
I mean, and then
I'm gonna make you Bedrock.
Yeah. And then to just see the progression of all three of them, like it's just
literally becomes one of three of the biggest ever. Like what I'm saying?
I would say our generation, they might be like the biggest trio in terms of what they represent now. Yeah. Like
100%.
And again, just shout out to Wayne for ever giving us Nicki and Drake. Right. Like really,
I do concur.
And I hope because it was only just it was just a re-release of a mixtape along with the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really great to hear the three of them again, and I hope she released I hope this is like a the kickstart to hopefully what's going to be like a new album. But obviously
she said she retired.
Yeah, but in time though because she. She's obviously gone through a lot with just having the baby, losing her father. So it's like I just obviously hope that she heals first. But I would really love to get some like new Nicki music, just because
Because honestly, people need to understand what it means to be the queen of rap. Okay, I feel like people are throwing that around loosely nowadays.
But now, like when she came, like when Pink Friday came out,
that was the queen of rap right there.
Like, yeah, I'll never forget like how big that shit was. Like not only when it came out, but just afterwards of just like. Because she was able to get everybody. She got the girl fan base.
It was like it was the Mary J. Blige type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of impacted everybody. It wasn't just like one, you know what I'm saying?
And I love it because when it comes to rap, because she instantly got, at least in my opinion, she instantly got all the major audiences that could then make everybody in rap accept and love her. Meaning that's like she had all the girls backing her up. Females loving her because she was, was the biggest one at that time. And then she had the lyrical niggas in the rap because like
she was spitting bars.
She was spitting bars, and like your first major album, you got Eminem.
Word.
You know what I mean? So it's like even like the not like the haters that are like, oh, she just spits about this and that. It's like, oh, well, Eminem worked with her. Oh well, I mean, I guess I like that song. Like you know what I mean? Like motherfuckers had to admit that shit was fire. And she had Wayne and Drake, so she had the trap.
That song's fire,
dude. Roman's Revenge is one of my favorites.
That's a fire.
So yeah, no, that was really dope. And also, last thing is, I'm hearing that rumors that apparently Rihanna has got something coming. And
I've been saying that for a long time. I see to believe it. I just saw ASAP said that she's the love of his life. Listen, ASAP, she's the love of everybody's life. Okay,
that's
sir.
A fact. Rihanna's so perfect.
Facts.
But not like but I'll say this: I'll say this, if she drops an album this year. It does not matter what Kendrick, Drake, Cole's done. It literally doesn't matter what any musician's done. It'll be a great year for music, but I'll tell you what, the second she drops, in terms of like who's the top number one at the end of the year, it's literally not going to matter anybody else.
She's getting all the numbers. It's a wrap.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because even though it's been the longest out of everybody we mentioned, because she didn't drop dropped like what 2015 or some shit like that.
That's my point. And she's literally like,
she's an icon.
That's what I'm saying. Not many. Yeah. There's a lot of.
She made billions after she was done with music. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like she's like, you know what I mean? Like, look, there's a lot of rappers, female rappers, regular rappers that are rappers and musicians, and they go and venture off into other things and become successful in it. And that's great. But no one on the level
that level. Nope.
And she is
to literally be one of the biggest singer of that time in the late 2000s, early 2010s, to literally just start a whole business that went off from the jump. You know
Like,
what
it's
I'm saying?
crazy to think of, like, being in middle school, like, when Disturbia came out. You know, Good Girls Gone Bad and shit. Like, it's like,
That was a dope album.
it was an amazing album, but I just remember at that time thinking, like, man, she's the biggest thing in the world, and it's like, she was nowhere near where she is now. You know what I mean? Like, we had no idea
Like,
what she was going to become.
Word.
So the fact that this icon stepped away from music for so long, I think on some level, even if she doesn't know, I believe that, like, when she drops, she immediately takes the music industry back.
No, yeah, she can come
Like,
out whenever she wants to.
And when she
Little type of
does,
shit,
it's all hers.
Yeah.
The numbers, the streams, everything is gonna be her. And then once people started listening to her, you know, shit crazy, now they're gonna listen to her old shit even crazier than they already do. That keep her numbers
And
up.
bam, more money in her pocket. She a businesswoman. She knows how to do it, bro.
Bro,
She
I
knows how
can't.
to do it.
I'm so excited to, like, Rihanna's one of my favorites.
She started to slowly become the female version of Jay-Z type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think if anybody can make that make that statement, it is her, and I think it's fairly so. Like, I can't think of anything to dispute why she isn't.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Rihanna. Hopefully, we get some new music. You know, with that, I'll give her be fair. At least say the next year.
Yeah, I'm still listening to J. Cole, so you got time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like on some level, Drake's texting her like, "Yo, can you just please let me know when you thinking of it? Cause I can't have cause you gonna ruin my bag for the rest of the summer."
That's a fact, though. All right, there's one song on the album on Off Season.
Okay.
And you say you like the least. What would it be? Obviously, all the songs are fire, but what song do you like the least?
Let me take a quick look at the.
You know, we gotta be a little critical here and there.
I guess.
I'm gonna personally say "Punching the Clock." Although I found it fucking dope that he put a Damian Lillard interview as like a sample. I thought that shit was hard.
I think for me, I would have to say. I guess maybe Interlude.
Interesting.
Yeah. But like, again, not that it's bad or anything, but it's just like
Yeah,
out of all my
album's
favorites
fine,
on the
yeah.
song, like that might go
Least.
down the least. One thing I at least want to say on air on the pod that you said off mic that I think is 100% true, which is, again, I wish J. Cole never dropped the Climb Back. Because if I heard the Climb Back for the first time in like the listing with this album,
I think it would have been the most album. Yeah.
it would have hit
Yeah.
so hard. Like, I'm thinking of just like the emotions we were going through listening to the album for the first time, that if Interlude like was playing and then we just played the Climb Back for the first time, that beat drop, my whole body would have went in chills.
Ooh, and then this chorus,
and that would have been like
he back around full circle.
Yeah.
That shit hard.
That
bro.
shit would have, I would have.
Yo.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. Like, now, still hearing it in the context of it and taking it for what it is in the album, it's still
slaps.
It's
Yeah,
still
of course
probably
it slaps. Yeah, like-
it's probably one of my top songs.
And
on the
I
album.
love that how that's on it and not Lion King Ice, because I feel like Lion King Ice wouldn't have fit as well. on the
Yeah,
album.
no, I don't think it would have fit.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have fit at all.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, obviously 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Great album. If
Yeah.
you haven't listened to it, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
You know, hip hop fans, this is definitely one for the culture.
100% one for the
You know what I'm
culture.
saying? This man came out with the bars. You know, it's always good to see a black man get paid. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But all right, guys, I think we'll call that a wraps on our review for the Jermaine Cole off season.
J. Cole?
You mean Jermaine Cole? The real is back. The real is back.
Put an M on your forehead. Are you Luigi's
You
brother?
know?
That guy?
You a Ouija brother? But all right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed our little music talk and review of it. What did you guys think of the album? You know, put your comments down below. You know, did you like it? You know, what do you guys think is the best song? What do you think is the worst? You know, let us know in the comments and, you know, have a nice discussion.
True that.
All right, guys, until next time.
Like, subscribe.
Yes,
all the
like and
YouTube
subscribe,
stuff.
all the YouTubes. All right, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.
Peace.